The saying that life is not balanced is truly real, and Esther's life proved it. She fell deeply in love with Big Andy. He was tall, handsome, dark-skinned, and had a strong, broad-shouldered build. His clothes were always neat, his smile effortless, and girls could not help but stare. Everyone wanted him as a boyfriend. Because of his good looks and charm, Big Andy became full of himself. He treated love like a game, changing girlfriends as easily as someone changes clothes. Some girls paid his bills and begged for his attention. Others fought over him, believing that arguing or crying would make him take them seriously. But nothing worked. Big Andy remained the same, charming on the outside, careless on the inside. One day, Amanda, one of his admirers, decided to show him how much she cared. She took him to a luxurious restaurant where every dish looked expensive. She ordered fried rice, turkey, chicken, and exotic juice. Big Andy ate comfortably, smiling and chatting as if he owned the world. After the meal, they went shopping in a boutique. Amanda bought him the latest polo shirts, trousers, a wristwatch, and a men's bag. When she paid, he called her my sweet baby and whispered sweet words into her ear. Amanda believed him. For a moment, she truly thought he loved her. But love with Big Andy was never real. Just a week later, Amanda saw him at a pepper soup joint, laughing and enjoying himself with another girl. He sat there casually, drinking soup, as if the promises he had made to Amanda never existed. Amanda froze. Her heart sank. Her hands trembled, and she quickly took a picture of them. All his sweet words and charming smiles had been lies. The next day, Amanda called him, hoping to confront him quietly. Big Andy, as confident as ever, laughed when he saw it was her calling. She showed him the picture, but he only shrugged and said, "How do you expect a fine guy like me to have only one girlfriend? I am too handsome for that." Then, in a loud voice, he called out to passers-by, claiming that Amanda was forcing him into a relationship he did not want. People abandoned what they were doing. Teenagers left their games, mothers left their chores just to watch the drama. Even neighborhood elders came, curious to see what was happening. Sensing the shame that was coming, Amanda slipped out through the back door and left. When the crowd reached the place and saw Big Andy's door locked, they slowly dispersed and went back to their homes. And then came Esther. She met Big Andy by the riverside, where her mother usually bought fish. That day, she had gone to help carry the fish home when he approached her. From that same week, they became lovers. Esther loved the way he put his arm around her, the warmth of his presence, and the feeling of being protected whenever he was close. Every moment with him felt magical. The broad sweep of his shoulders, the sound of his laughter, the way his eyes crinkled when he smiled. She replayed these moments over and over in her mind, holding tightly to the happiness they gave her. But as time went on, cracks began to appear. Little arguments turned into days of silence. Calls went unanswered. When he eventually spoke, his voice was sharp and harsh, leaving Esther confused and deeply hurt. Yet, whenever she remembered his height, his broad shoulders and his handsome face, she convinced herself to endure the pain, hoping that love would one day fix everything. Meanwhile, Ifechukwu, known as Short Engine because of his short stature and mechanic clothes, had admired Esther from afar. He worked hard in his workshop, putting in long hours every day. Yet he always found ways to show he cared. He bought gifts for Esther's sister and aunt, helped with provisions, and was always willing to support her and her family. All he needed was her love. Esther noticed all these acts of care, but she still dismissed him. He's not like Big Andy, she told herself. He's too ordinary, too rough, too poor. But the same Andy she was dying for had never spent his money on her. Instead, it was the other way around. Esther was the one spending her money just to make the relationship work. Her heart was torn, yet she refused to see Ifechukwu's love for what it truly was. She clung tightly to Big Andy's memory, even as he humiliated her again and again. She went to his house to beg for attention and returned home heartbroken every single time. She waited endlessly for his calls, but none came. When she finally called him, he complained that she was disturbing him, making her feel unwanted and small. Aunt Meg saw the pain written clearly in her niece's eyes and could no longer keep quiet. She shouted, "Esther, do you even hear yourself? You are forcing a man who does not love you to love you. Is this how love is done?" Esther stood there in silence, tears filling her eyes. She had no words. Deep down, she knew her aunt was right, but her heart was too attached to let go. She still hoped that one day Big Andy would change, that he would finally see her worth and choose her. But love does not grow where there is humiliation, and Esther could only stare at her frozen, too blinded by desire to understand the truth. One day, the breaking point came. Esther caught Big Andy with another girl. He didn't apologize. He didn't care. He told her she was disturbing him. Her heart cracked, and she returned home determined never to love him again. Slowly, with her aunt and her friend guiding her, she began to understand. Aunt Meg explained gently, "The one you love may not love you, but the one who truly loves you will wait. True love grows with care, patience, and honesty. Beauty fades, but love stays." It took time, but Esther began to notice Ifechukwu differently. She saw his patience, his consistent care, and how he had always thought about her and her family. By the time he completed his apprenticeship and became independent, Esther realized that love could be calm, steady, and genuine, the complete opposite of what she had known with Big Andy. That realization made her change her mind. This time, when Ife came to her again, she accepted him. Ife was happy as he held her hand, feeling accomplished. He promised to take good care of her. In just 2 months, he showered her with care, attention, and gifts, giving her the peace she had longed for. When Esther was admitted into the University of Oka, her parents paid her tuition and bought her textbooks. But Ife continued to support her. He gave her money and provisions and even bought her a Samsung tablet. He helped her board the bus and gave her a necklace as a reminder of his love. Though they were far apart, they stayed close, calling often and sharing their daily lives. 5 years later, Esther graduated. She and Ifechukwu got married, bringing great joy to the family, especially Aunt Meg. A few months later, Esther gave birth to a healthy baby boy. Life was finally good to her, full of love, respect, and peace. One day, on her way to the clinic, Esther saw Big Andy strolling along the road. She slowed down her car and wound down the window. He stopped, surprised to see it was Esther calling. Then he asked, "Whose baby is this?" Esther looked at him calmly and replied, "This is my baby." At that moment, he noticed the wedding ring on her finger. His eyes widened as he said, "Oh, you are married." Esther smiled gently and turned to him. "How about you? Are you married now?" Big Andy shook his head and said, "No, I'm still searching." Esther shook her head in surprise, smiled once more, and drove off with her child, feeling at peace. She knew she had finally chosen wisely, and that her life was now full of love, care, and happiness. Moral lesson: true love is shown through care, patience, and respect, not charm or appearances. Chasing someone who doesn't value you only brings pain, while choosing someone who truly loves you brings lasting happiness. Look beyond looks, value the people who care for you, and be patient for love that is real. It may take time, but it is always worth it. If you are watching my video for the first time, please kindly subscribe to my channel. And if you've been watching already, click the subscribe button so you can stay updated whenever I post a new story. Thank you so much for watching, and bye for now.